Hello my fellow Tarkov gremlins. Today we're going to be covering my favorite weapon of this wipe, the AKS74U. It can have some pretty good stats compared to similar AKs and meta weapons, especially at its price point. The ammo for the AKS is more readily available than 5.56 from both the traders and the flea market. It also outperforms 5.56 in every category, whether it be from the traders or the flea market. First, we'll go over a budget build for this AK. All of the parts here are obtainable from level 2 traders or the flea market for cheap prices, and they still offer good stats. The only caveat is that the GP25 butt pad is only available from traders after completing Gunsmith Part 6. The total price of this build is 50,000 rubles, but sometimes you can get it for cheaper if the flea market prices are better. I strongly recommend using the 74UB over the 74U, as it has better hidden recoil stats. It's usually a bit more expensive than the 74U, but it's worth it because of its lower dispersion. If you decide to use the 74UB, you'll have to use a different muzzle brake, as the DTK won't fit onto the 74UB. I'd recommend the SRVV because it's cheap and has similar stats to the DTK. Here's the hidden recoil stats that I was talking about for anyone who's curious. Here's the budget AK's recoil. Now moving on to the mid-range build for this AK. It has better ergo and less recoil than the last build. It also has a much better optic and supports lasers / flashlight combos. All of these parts can be bought from level 2 traders or the flea market, except for the AFG/FG foregrip. A very similar alternative is the RK4 from Skier level 2. However, if you do have Peacekeeper level 3, I would recommend getting the AFG tactical foregrip as it has better ergonomics. This build totals to around 100k after you sell the old parts to traders. Here's the mid-range AK's recoil. Finally, we'll move on to the meta build within reason. These are the best stats for this AK that you can get unless you want to spend 100k more to get 5 less recoil and a lot less ergo. The only level 3 trader needed for these parts is Skier, and it's for the foregrip and the pistol grip. Everything else can be bought from level 2 traders or the flea market for a moderate price. The Boss XE optic is completely optional as it is super expensive on the flea right now, and other optics can be bought at way cheaper prices. I just like the XE because it has a clear sight picture. A good budget option is the Romeo Reflex sight for around 24k. The total price for this build is around 150 to 200k depending on which optic you purchase. Here's the meta AK's recoil. For the ammo, I'd go with the PP rounds as it's the best ammo available on flea market with 34 pin and 50 flush damage. If you somehow already have 7 and 40 rounds unlocked, I would go with that. And if you don't have flea market yet, I'd recommend going for PS ammo as it's cheap and it still has a decent amount of pin. Here's all of the sprays uncontrolled. Here's where the spray for each AK peaked. I definitely think the meta build is worth it. Wait a second, what is that back there? Oh, that's just Dubby, the energy drink formula with 0 sugar, 0 artificial dyes, and no maltodextrin, and 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving? Where do I sign? Well, you can find a plethora of different flavors at dubby.gg. And if you use code SPIKYDAVID at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. Using it will also support my content creation. Now back to the video. Here's some PvP clips on customs with the meta build. RIP, bro. That's how you sneak into dorms right there, buddy.
Crazy? I was crazy once.
If you enjoyed, consider dropping a like and subscribing as it helps my channel grow. I'll be making more videos soon. See ya!